And from Q Arena here in Albany, New York, it's America East men's basketball. And tonight, the University of Albany playing host to the Stony Brook Seawolves. A very good evening, everybody. I'm Roger Wiley, along with former UAlbany assistant coach Jeremy Friel. And, Coach, this was a rematch from a game on January the 8th that was won by Stony Brook, but they came from 21 down with 7 minutes to go to win this game. How much is that on the minds of this UAlbany team tonight?
Hopefully for Will Brown and the staff, it is not on their minds at all. One of the first league games and go around. All that matters is tonight in the Big Purple Growl, and Albany will like to forget that game, and I'm sure they did it quickly.
Hey, let's take a look at the keys to the game, and well, first the standings. And Stony Brook was picked preseason 7. They're up to 2. UAlbany playing a lot better since January the 8th. They're in at 5-4. And one area that they're playing better at, Coach Friel, is the defense, defending the 3, but also a key tonight will be which team wins the battle of the boards.
Albany always a good rebounding team, 9th in the country right now in rebounding margin, but Stony Brook has made it a concerted effort in the league play to now battle the board to be +2. So if you dominate the glass tonight, you're going to have a great chance of winning the game.
All right, key players to watch for tonight, and he just made the game-winning bucket against New Hampshire. Lucas Woodhouse is the go-to player for Stony Brook.
Exactly. Was a rebound and an assist away from a triple-double against New Hampshire. As you said, had the game-winning basket. 47% free throw per shooter. Leads the league in assists. Does it in a variety of ways, from outside, attacking the rim. He's a consummate team player, the Green Lawn, New York native, doing very big things to Seawolves this season.
Joe Cremo and David Nichols lead the UAlbany in scoring. They're both in double digits. What about Nichols' game do you like, Coach Friel?
When Nichols is playing under control, he's by far one of the best players in the league. As you can tell by his stats, 70%, 17 points a game. Big, strong kid, gets to the rim, doing great things in transition and finding his teammates. And him and his dynamic duo of Joe Cremo have really helped bring back Albany after their own 3 start league play.
David Nichols, Joe Cremo, top 2 scorers for UA. Coach Jeremy Friel with us tonight. Here's your starting lineups: Lucas Woodhouse, Cameron Mitchell, Roland Niyama, and Junior Santil, and Tyrell Sturdivant is a junior. He's in doubles too at 12.5. Woodhouse at 15.6. For UAlbany, they will start Joe Cremo, David Nichols, Mike Rowley, Greg Steyer, and Devontae Campbell, the sophomore from Vaughan, Ontario. The head coaches are Jeff Bowles in his first year, 7 years as an assistant at Ohio State, and Will Brown in his 16th year at UAlbany, 5 trips to the NCAA tournament. Should be a good one. 72-70 back on January the 8th. And the rematch tonight as we're in the second half of the America East Conference schedule. And UAlbany off to a good start. They beat UMass Lowell the other night right here at Q Arena. They go to New Hampshire. They start out with 3 teams that beat them in the first half of the regular season. Stony Brook coming off a victory over New Hampshire on a bucket by Lucas Woodhouse with 10 seconds to go to win that game. And Campbell, Devontae Campbell, gets UAlbany off to a good start.
Great start. Devontae Campbell really coming into his own offensively. Got the starting job based on his defense, but has been much more aggressive on the offensive end the last few games.
And there's an answer by Woodhouse. He is a 6'3" senior from Green Lawn, New York. Comes in averaging 15-6 a game. And we highlighted him, Coach Friel, in our pregame show. And I have a funny feeling he won't disappoint tonight.
No, he's has to get an offensive foul, player control. Great defense by Stony Brook. Woodhouse having a great conference season thus far, shooting 47% from the three-point line. But that's not all he does. Roger, he does a great job getting to the rim and finding his teammates as well, gets them involved as he leads the league in assists of over 5 a game.
I think Albany feels like they are better defensively, Coach Friel, since the January 8th meeting.
Well, I think statistically speaking that shows. And they're much more committed. They know that defense wins games and defense wins championships. So if they were going to make a run at, and playing their best basketball towards the end of the season, they're going to have to play defense as well as continue to score.
Nichols misses his first shot of the game and a long rebound out to Woodhouse.
Quick shot by Nichols. I think Albany probably wants to try to control the tempo tonight. Slow it down a little bit.
Cameron Mitchell gets into the lane a little bit. And Woodhouse runs the show. And that time throws it away. Turnover against Stony Brook.
You don't see that happen very often for Woodhouse. A poor decision. A good sign early for Albany. Hopefully they can get this crowd, this great crowd in Big Purple Growl. 20th annual, involved early and often. And Stony Brook can hopefully weather some storms from their end.
Joe Cremo with the drive, and he's blocked. Has his shot blocked by Cameron Mitchell. Cameron is also a senior from Jacksonville, Florida at 6'4". Santel is a junior, and Niyama a junior from Germany.
Mitchell's an energy guy, plays extremely hard. We'll get you defensively. We'll talk a little smack too, Raj.
Does he?
He does talk. And he has hit some big shots in Stony Brook in the past.
Mitchell thought about the three. Both these teams will rebound the heck out of the basketball. But one thing about Stony Brook this year, if you look at their stats, Coach Friel, they don't turn the ball over too many times. They've been really good in that department.
No, one of the best teams not only in the league in turnover ratio, they're tops, but they're one of the top 40 in the country in turnover ratio, assist to turnover ratio. So
and there's the rebounding right there. And that's junior Santel, 6'7" junior from Mays Landing, New Jersey, to give his team a 2-point lead.
Yep, Santel, a very good athlete, averaging almost 4 rebounds a game. Albany's going to have to, limit those second chance points, and as we said, that's one of the keys to the game.
Nichols has it stripped. This is an easy one for Niyama, and he throws it down. So a good start on the road tonight by Stony Brook. And they open in the man-to-man defense, and a steal by Mitchell. Another turnover by UAlbany, and an easy one at the other end, and a 9-3 start by the Seawolves tonight.
Yep, turnovers kill with a couple poor possessions offensively for Albany. And Stony Brook coming out with great energy and being aggressive and shooting the gaps on a few lazy passes. And you can see the pressure, looking to, obviously make Cremo and Nichols give up the ball up and make somebody else beat them.
Nichols called for an offensive foul. And Lucas Woodhouse takes the charge.
Thought it was a pretty good call. I thought Nichols got low, but then he lowered the shoulder. And you don't have to be in legal guarding position. You see the replay. He lowered the shoulder, and I think that's a pretty good call by one of the veteran officials, Duda, who's a heck of a player at Merrimack College back in the day.
UAlbany opens in the man-to-man. They've gotten better in man-to-man defense. They are capable, though, of going to zone.
That's the 4th turnover for Albany.
Early storyline here at Seth Arena. 4 UA turnovers and leading the points at the other end. Shot clock at 5, and Woodhouse puts up the 3. And that's an over the back on St. Tel.
Yep, easy call. Great block out by Joe Cremo.
And it gets us to a media timeout. 15:33 to go. Here in the first half, it is Stony Brook 9 and UAlbany 3 on ESPN 3. Back to you along with Jeremy Friel at Seth Arena. Our fifth after the game is Costa Anderson, the junior guard from Atlanta, scored 8 points against UMass Lowell. Human development major with a 3-point GPA, helped raise $125,000 for Coaches vs. Cancer, and comes in off the bench and doing a pretty good job when David Nichols needs a break, and a good 3-point shooter as well. Excellent athletic excellence, academic achievement, and leadership on and off the field, the 3 pillars of the complete American East student athlete. Tonight, we congratulate Costa Anderson, the junior guard for the University at Albany. And he's getting a lot of minutes, to be honest with you, coming off the bench here. Last few games spelling Nichols. He's actually been on the court at times with David Nichols.
No, he's obviously started to shoot the ball with confidence as he did in junior college, an all-conference player.
What is it coming from junior college and then to this level? How big of a jump is that?
Oh, it's a huge adjustment for anybody coming to the collegiate level. It's the time management from classes to practice. There's a lot of great junior colleges out there. There's a lot of tremendous junior college coaches. But anytime there's a change in a comfort level, there's an adjustment. A great job by Mike Rowley going to get that rebound.
Mike crashing the boards along with Cameron Mitchell. And Mitchell picks up the foul. Mike Rowley, the senior from Sydney, Australia. Greg Steyer, 6'7", sophomore from right here in the Capital Region and went to high school at CBA. David Nichols, Chicago, Illinois, sophomore. Cremo's a sophomore from Scotia Glenville. And Devontae Campbell, a 6'6", sophomore from Vaughan, Ontario.
Stony Brook doing a very good job defensively. Sound defense, but they're taking the gambles. They're digging down on the post. And that's Devontae Campbell with all 5 points for Albany to start the game. That's a huge boost for UAlbany.
And he's a player that UAlbany doesn't necessarily need or rely on to score. Really good defender, usually draws the top player on the opposing team. They get some points out of him, all the better for UAlbany and head coach Will Brown.
Yeah, he's been much better in league play, averaging 8 points a game. Five on the season, but 8 overall. But that's the key right there, getting a one shot up to Stony Brook and getting on the offensive end.
Stony Brook picked to finish second or seventh in the preseason and having a really good year in at number 2 right now. And Steyer's another one that is tough on the blocks. You know what you're getting with Greg Steyer. Big, strong, and takes the ball back up strong, and that usually leads to foul shots for Greg Steyer, and he'll shoot 2.
And here's Mike Rowley, a little off balance on the, and I do not think that was a shot. I think that was him playing a lot of minutes with his teammate Greg Steyer and knowing that hopefully his buddy can bail him out with that pass. And he did.
He did. Some substitutions coming into the game. That's number 1, UC Eregbu, a 6-foot senior, or junior rather, in the lineup for head coach Jeff Bowles, again in his first year, spending 7 years as an assistant at Ohio State. Steyer makes both, and UAlbany within 2.
Stony Brook's come a long way when they started the season 0-4, and now to get to their 12-10 record and 7-2 in league play. And at this level, it's all about league play, Roger.
Yeah, we're a month away from the madness.
We are. Great month. You're talking about my birthday, right? March 20th.
There you go. Happy birthday.
Turnover. Campbell using his length.
Quasi Yeboah is a freshman. He's in the lineup now for Stony Brook. And here comes the young man from State College, PA, Brian Secunda, 6'6", junior.
Special place in your heart.
It really is. And I was at the Rose Bowl, so saw my Penn State Nittany Lions in a heck of a game against USC.
Secunda coming back from a devastating knee injury last season. I believe he did it actually here at UAlbany's in Seth Arena. So battling back.
Stony Brook will play 10 tonight.
Yeah,
shot clock at 8, and the ball goes on the low blocks to Cremo, and his pass almost picked off. Mike Rowley with 1 to shoot. Gets it off, but it's no good, and Secunda gets the rebound.
And what playing 10 guys, Roger, as you said, does is allows you to be aggressive defensively. You don't have to really worry as much to get in foul trouble unless you're Lucas Woodhouse and Sturdivant. Those are the guys you do not want to get in foul trouble if you're a Stony Brook fan.
Stony Brook patient offensively, running their sets in the half court. Secunda, pretty good shooter from behind the arc. Not a great three-point shooting team. Woodhouse gets it off just before the buzzer and hits the J.
A nice step back by Woodhouse. Thought he might have got a little away with a little push off on the longer Devontae Campbell of how he created space, but not called. No foul.
Mike Rowley lowers his shoulder on the baseline. That shot is no good, but Steyer is right there and puts it back up and in. as Sturdivant fell down, and Steyer gets the bucket, and it's a 2-point game again.
And that's what Rowley and Steyer do, is they bang inside, a good tandem on the boards, and then Albany brings Travis Charles off the bench, a little more of an offensive player. When he comes in, yet to see thus far, though.
Regbu with the basketball, now back to Woodhouse. Shot clock is down to 5, and the freshman hits. Quasi Yeboah. Shot clock winding down, he buries the 3, and it's a 14-9 lead by Stony Brook.
Yeah, Boa coming into the game averaging 9 points a game, shooting 33% from the three-point line. But Albany needs a lot of David Nichols getting to the rim and finishing.
He really has. I mean, the strength of him is being able to get to the rim, push in transition. Nichols has had a tremendous season, along with Cremo, in that Albany backcourt, both just sophomores.
Yeah, future is bright in the backcourt for Albany, that is for sure.
Sturdivant, sure what that was, a pass or a shot, but it went off the rim. And Cremo looks like he wants to take it right to the rim. Good defense by Secunda. And Devontae Campbell misses, but Steyer is there for the UA rebound and putback. Little tip back by Greg Steyer, always hanging around the glass.
Couple keys to the game right there. The indecisiveness on the pass by Sturdivant, going down to the glass for the offensive rebound and the finish.
Woodhouse with the miss. Cremo gets the rebound.
It looks like
Albany can't take the lead here on this possession.
They've settled down after the 9-3 start from Stony Brook.
Cremo might have been fouled from behind. They do call a foul on Regbu, and that gets us to a media timeout with 10:18 to go. Here in the first half, we've got a good one on ESPN3 as Stony Brook leads Albany 14-13. When you talk about the recent history of champions here in this conference, well, 3 out of the last 4 have gone to Albany. Stony Brook winning it last year, but prior to that, Albany, and Albany.
Yeah, last year Steve Peichel, head coach, finally got it done, but there've been some battles. I don't know what the statistic is, but Stony Brook has knocked out Albany, and Albany has knocked out Stony Brook. Like some ridiculous amount of years other than last year's Albany game versus Hartford. That just adds to that rivalry. They've obviously helped dominate the American Conference the last few years up there with Vermont, but postseason, Albany and Stony Brook adds fuel. But then it's all new to Jeff Bowles in his first year, and he's doing a tremendous job.
Of course, Vermont this year unbeaten as we're into the second half of the conference schedule, and I don't know who's beaten Vermont. They've been awfully good. Joe Cremo at the line. And Joe, outstanding foul shooter, makes both. And that gives Albany the lead here at 15-14 as we are into the final 10 minutes of the first half. Handling the ball is Michael Almonacci. He is also a freshman. So you go freshman in Almonacci, freshman in Yeboah. 2 freshmen with prominent roles and a lot of minutes this year for Jeff Bowles.
That's a lot of minutes for a lot of new guys. Really only Niama, Sturdivant, and Woodhouse got decent minutes. Secunda popped in there as well, but a lot of new faces to go along with the new head coach. Getting a lot more minutes.
Rowley is back in. Steyer goes out of the Albany lineup.
Travis Charles is now into the game.
Almonacci guarded by Nichols. Trying to get to the rim, and that's a good move. In the lane. Good job to go up for that shot over Nichols, who actually, like he maybe even fell a little bit there, and all set up, though, by outstanding dribble drive by the freshman.
Freshman from Brentwood, New York, right outside of Stony Brook.
Cremo gets going for UA, and it gives them the lead back 17-16. The 72-70 final on January the 8th at Stony Brook.
and Albany dominated that game for 32 minutes of it and built that 17-point lead, 19-point lead, and 21-point lead, and then it went away. 21-point lead with 10 minutes left. We can remember it. Albany doesn't want to remember it. And Stony Brook trying to figure out how good they are. Obviously, they've beaten who they needed to beat in the league, except Vermont, and they slipped up at Binghamton. But Jeff Bull's quotes in the paper are pretty much as we remember who, and I let my guys know who dominated us for 34 minutes of that game.
Jacob Petrus is 6'11", junior in the game and has the ball on the blocks, working against Travis Charles, who's checked into the UAlbany lineup.
Petrus is always called a space eater, Raj. 3 points, 3 rebounds, big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy on the blocks, no doubt.
From Slovakia, from a great Canaries basketball academy. Are you aware that legendary UAlbany coach Doc Sowers, his son, is helped working with that program after leaving Riverside out in California.
Secunda trying to get a shot off, can't, but Almonacey does and misses, and the rebound, last touch by UAlbany, be Stony Brook ball.
CEF2 Arena didn't like the call. They're letting official Bill Obnstein know about it.
That's Costa Anderson checking in for UAlbany. Replaces Joe Cremo. Costa honored tonight here as our student athlete of the game. Stony Brook back on top by 1. Back and forth we go here in this first half. And Devontae Campbell then fouls after the ball was stolen by Niyama.
Campbell just exposed the ball, and Niyama using his length. He's got some long arms, Roger. You don't have to be as close to your defender with your offensive player with those long arms. And obviously he's being active with his hands and getting a lot of deflections. And another turnover for Albany.
And Joe Cremo back in the game, replacing Devontae Campbell.
I think we can guarantee ourselves a close game, Roger. These games are always tough, and 11 out of Stony Brook's 22 games have come down to the last minute.
And they're about 500 in those games. And again, the latest one was their last game with New Hampshire.
Yep, found a way to get a win. New Hampshire had a 8-point lead at halftime, and then Stony Brook went on a 16-2 run to start the half.
Joe Cremo makes some incredible shots, and that's one of them right there. I don't know how he gets that to go.
Reps, practice, practice, practice. One of the hardest workers in the program. Probably the hardest worker. If him and David Nichols are gym rats. But that's practice, Raj. His footwork. I know he did a great job with Steve D'Agostino, his personal trainer in high school. It's a lot of hours.
Offensive foul on Yeboah. And it leads to immediate timeout with UAlbany ahead. 19-18, 7:23 to go here in the first half on ESPN3. Roger Weiland, Coach Jeremy Friel from CEF2 Arena here in Albany, New York on this Saturday night, and a good one as expected. UAlbany on top 19-18 and shooting 50%, both teams shooting 50% from the floor. Rebounding lead right now to UAlbany at 9-6. And turnovers are close too. UAlbany's turned the ball over 5 times, and Stony Brook has turned it over 4 times.
Yep, keys to the game as we talked about, and they're even in both. And we got a 1-point lead for Albany at home.
Steyer and Cremo both have 6 points. Lucas Woodhouse has 5, leading scorers so far here tonight. Anderson sets up Cremo, open 3, short. Joe follows up his own miss, off the glass, no good. And a foul on UAlbany going over the back is Mike Rowley.
Joe would like to have that one back. Saw 2 aspects of his game, the 3-point shot, which is his third favorite thing to do, but then getting the offensive rebound, and he's normally very clutch on that type of little floater runner.
Dallas Enema guarding Secunda. Dallas, senior from Sheldon, Iowa. Gets good minutes off the bench for head coach Will Brown. Woodhouse. And got the kind bounce off the iron. Lucas Woodhouse with the bucket to give Stony Brook the lead back. And we just keep going back and forth. Stony Brook by 1. Cremo spins and scores. Joe Cremo with now 8 points to lead Albany in scoring, gives his team the lead at 21-20.
Cremo posting up, went a little further out, I thought, but then he did a nice job squaring up and come with the spin move to the finish. And then he gets drilled by Sturdivant on the defensive side.
Anderson drawing the assignment of Woodhouse. Albany and been a man-to-man, straight man-to-man so far. Freshman Boa misses, but the rebound, Sturdivant, he can't get it to go, and Travis Charles on the glass.
Not a great job by Charles boxing out, but then he did a great job walling up and making Sturdivant shoot a little off balance from a little further out than he's comfortable.
Charles, this is probably what he does best. Good offensive player is Travis Charles. He just showed you why on that move down low, and Albany with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, Travis really coming into his role after missing all of last season with the heart condition. And Albany missed that in his inside presence, but does a great job over the left shoulder and a very good mid-range jump shooter. And he's got a tough battle with Sturdivant right now.
He knocked it away from Sturdivant and get it right back into his hands with just 6 to shoot. Sturdivant across the lane, good move. Tyrell Sturdivant came in averaging 12-5 a game, makes it a 1-point game again. Nice backdoor cut by Rowley on a feed by Costa Anderson. UA back on top by 3.
Yeah, Sturdivant doing a great job. That must be the game plan for Stony Brook to try to take away the ball reversal and keep Albany on one side of the ball. But Mike Rowley did a nice job going backdoor, and Costa Anderson found him. But Albany can't get a stop at the other end, so it's tit for tat right now.
One of our keys to the game is Lucas Woodhouse, and gets another bucket there. Right back to Charles. And backing in on the freshman. This time no good, but right there to get his own rebound and lost control of it out of bounds. Turnover. Stony Brook will get it back, and we'll take a timeout. Media timeout, 3:55 to go here in this first half. And it's Albany 25, Stony Brook 24 on ESPN3. In New York on this Saturday night at Big Purple Growl, the homecoming, winter homecoming for Albany, and you can see a great crowd on hand tonight watching a rival game here in the America East Conference. And right now, Albany up by 1, 25-24.
8 lead changes already, Roger. I think we're going to see many, many more to end it. Great game to be a part of, great crowd to be a part of. An exciting time on campus.
Yeah, this day started a little earlier at the Ferocious Feast over right across from where we're at Septu in a different building called the PE Gymnasium, and had a lot of food and face painting with the kids and good times going on before the game today.
Oh yeah, my daughter got a balloon bear. Loved it.
There you go.
We've been talking about it for weeks.
How old's your daughter?
2.5, Rod.
2.5. Love it.
She's the boss.
And a foul going to go against Albany. Or no, it's going to go against Stony Brook. That's Junior St. Tel. And that'll be the 7th team foul. So we're in a 1-on-1 for UA. Albany with 16 fouls. And Sturdivant missed. And there's the over the back going over Dallas Enema. Junior St. Tel. And Dallas at the line. 1-on-1. Enema's had a great career, as you know. You coached Dallas Enema.
Yep, tremendous.
Great young man, great family in Sheldon, Iowa. will be missed in this program as Yeboah, the freshman, comes back in, a Quasi.
At Dallas, great two-time American East All-Academic players, played a lot of big games, played a lot of big shots. Started the season off with 20 points at Penn State.
Yeah, and many different roles, and he just does whatever he's asked to do.
Oh, yes, he's a yes, sir, no, sir. Almost too nice when he first got here.
Nichols with haven't had many transition baskets yet. Both teams really good in transition defense. That's part of it.
Yeah, and there's not been as many misses either with the turnovers, and then both teams shooting above 50%.
Steyer literally tried to hand it off to Rowley down low. Ball got knocked out by Stony Brook with 14 to shoot.
Start the game, Roger. Stony Brook started going inside and on the glass, and obviously they had 6 points in the paint to none for Albany, and it's changed where Albany now has 14 points in the paint. They've made an effort to get the ball inside. It's probably, obviously, they like to do that early, play inside out. Not a tremendous three-point shooting team, but a great take by David Nichols just off the front rim.
Good take, and try to get it to go with the left hand. Nichols all over Secunda. Now they get the ball over to Niyama. Try to feed the post, and they get it down low to the freshman. Backing in on Rowley. They're going to get Mike Rowley with a foul.
Yeah, a little bit.
That'll be a 1-and-1.
A little too much with the arm bar in hands. Defense in the post is a point of emphasis. And what Mike really has to do right there is on that second bump, he's got to show his hands and he has to go down and take the charge, and I think he would have already got the call. But hands are on him. Fine call by the official. Not if you're a Albany coach or fan, but I think it's the right call.
So Rowley comes out, Travis Charles back in the lineup for UA. As we are late stages of this first half. We will talk at halftime with Albany interim president James Steller. His first big purple growl as the interim president. One more for Yeboah, who can tie the game up, and he does at 26. We've seen both teams, Coach Friel, stay right in the man-to-man tonight.
Yeah, that's not far from Albany. Not even sure they played a few possessions of 1-3-1 against Stony Brook. That was when they were strictly man-to-man with a few possessions of zone. But they got the big lead at Stony Brook playing all man. So
shot clock at 5, and Enema hits.
They're going to review that one. The ref signaled to see if it was a 2, or they're obviously going to call it a 2 because no one called it a 3 right now. But they'll review that at the next dead ball.
Looks like they may get it right with a 2, and they go screen, moving screen.
Yep, easy
on
call.
Yeboah. 2 fouls on Yeboah, and I think he's going to come out of the game. And you see Iregbu, the junior at 6-foot guard, off the bench for Jeff Bowles. In the final 1:55 here in the first half. Very evenly played game in just about every category so far.
And it shows on the scoreboard.
Nichols been a little quiet here in the first half. And missed there, and Secunda with a rebound.
And that's a pull-up we normally see him make. So a good shot. Albany will take that every day.
Niyama, good strong move, and fouled by Charles. And Niyama will get to the line. Roland Niyama, 6'6" junior from Frankfurt, Germany. This will be a 2-shot opportunity.
It's a little bit of a tough matchup for Charles. He's not as quick laterally. And Niyama going to a strong hand. Got to the rim and got fouled. But he's got to make him pay.
Next up for Stony Brook, they'll be hosting UMass Lowell and then Maine. They get UMass Lowell, Maine, and at Hartford the next 3. Binghamton, UMBC, and then at Vermont.
Yeah, Stony Brook coming off 3 home games in a row. So this is their first game on the road in a while. Yama, 63% free throw shooter, gets the 1 out of 2. And in the close games, Roger, free throws win games. So it misses now can certainly affect you later.
Costa Anderson back in the game and on the court with Nichols, who misses. And Nichols goes and hustles and gets the ball back. And then a great dish on the bounce to Steyer, who slams it in.
Great hustle play. Questionable shot with the step through. Difficult shot, but absolutely made up for it with the hustle play, picking up the ball and finding his teammate Steyer for the two-handed dunk to get the crowd into the game, and that's what you need.
Woodhouse hasn't really hurt you Albany that much offensively yet in the first half, but boy, he is tough. How about that left-handed shot off the glass by Lucas Woodhouse?
Rodri loves going left. Albany cannot let him go left. He's a right-handed player, but he prefers to go left. He killed New Hampshire on Wednesday with fake dribble handoffs going left, beating his man off the dribble going left. He's much more comfortable going left than he is right, which sometimes is difficult for defenders playing against a right-handed player.
Albany up by 1 will play for the final shot here of the first half, and Cremo has it. And an offensive foul on Joe Cremo. Calling him with a push with .3 remaining. And Will Brown upset with Joe Cremo.
We'll have to see that one again.
So what can you do with .3?
It's 3 full seconds.
Or 3 full seconds, yeah.
You get a couple passes. Here's the replay. It's a tough. You go either way on that one, Roger. You got Yama, who left his feet, but then Cremo leans in just a little bit with the shoulder. It's a 50-50 call. Very excited if you're Stony Brook. Not so excited if you're Albany, because Cremo ended up making that 3 at the end. But with 3 seconds left, you can get a couple passes and get it easily. Get it to half court in 3 seconds, get it to the rim.
Woodhouse gets it in, gets it right back at the buzzer. Oh, and just missed. That was on target. Came up a little bit short, but a well-played first half, really, by both teams. And the score close, as we thought it would be, as it's 30-29. UAlbany with the 1-point lead here on the home court at SEF2 Arena. We're back with our halftime show, and we'll talk to the interim president of the University of Albany, James Steller, on ESPN3. In Albany, New York on this Saturday night, and a 1-point game. Joe Cremo with 8 points leads the way, along with Greg Steyer, both with 8 for UAlbany. And Woodhouse had the double-digit scoring in the first half with 11. And here we go. And a foul immediately as Cameron Mitchell with the drive, and is fouled and will shoot 2.
Set play to start the second half for Stony Brook, with Cam Mitchell going over the top. A little misdirection there. And 0 help defense for David Nichols on that play.
And they're a 1-point game here with David Nichols only 2 points in the first half on 1 of 6 from the floor.
But we know he can get it going in bunches, and he hasn't had a great start, but hasn't affected Albany thus far.
So Cameron Mitchell with the quick drive and the foul, and then the 2 foul shots, and Stony Brook goes in front, 31-30. UAlbany with their starting 5 of Mike Rowley, Greg Steyer, Cremo, Nichols, and Devontae Campbell. And there's Nichols again. Looked like he wanted a foul call, like somebody got a piece of his arm. But just a tough night here so far, scoring the basketball for David Nichols. Sometimes it is the only coach feel like 1 bucket just to get you going.
Yeah, or getting to the free throw line. That's the key when you're struggling a little bit. Try to get to the free throw line. It's tough to get to the free throw line if you're going to shoot a 3. So he's missed some shots that he has normally made, but he can't let that offensive performance affect his defense. And right there, he gets the guy to step out of bounds.
Yeah, Mitchell steps on the end line. And a turnover. Again, the Stony Brook team has been really good in the turnover department all year long. And there you see the turnovers tonight. 7 for UAlbany, 6 for Stony Brook.
And 4 of UAlbany's were in the first 4 minutes of the game, so they've really tightened up and cleaned up their offensive end. And Stony Brook, as we know, they do not turn the ball over often or hurt themselves very much.
Good man-to-man defense by both teams. Steyer gets points in the paint for UAlbany.
That's 10 for Steyer. A great outing for him, coming off of 2 games ago. Program tying 15 rebounds at Hartford.
Yeah, he was amazing down at Hartford a couple of Saturdays ago. And a 2-point shot by Roland Niyama, a junior. Tyrell Sturdivant in the starting lineup, a 6'7" junior. Junior St. Tell, 6'7" junior. And then a couple of seniors in Cameron Mitchell and Lucas Woodhouse.
And yes, the guys are playing more minutes for Stony Brook, but really it's the name in the front of the chest that Steve Peichel and his previous staff helped to build. And losing Jameel Warney, one of the greatest players in American history, who's now in the NBA Developmental League with the Mavericks, doing great things for them. A lot of guys have stepped into new roles and adjusted to a new coach, and Jeff Bowles has done a tremendous job in his first season.
Called a blocking foul on Steyer. Crowd didn't like it. Will Brown didn't like it. And a quick 2 team fouls on UAlbany here. About 3 minutes in, not even, to the second half.
Pretty sure CEFQ Arena fans have never liked a foul called on their own team.
Probably not.
No.
It's probably standard around the country, right?
No, I think it is standard. Yep.
Niyama, he's quick to the rim. Good move by Niyama. And a good start to the second half by Stony Brook to take a 3-point lead.
Yeah, and Niyama just using that athleticism in that first step to get to the rim. Albany probably like to give him a little more space and be there to contest a jump shot, preferably with him. But this is how the first half started. Stony Brook had a little more energy, got the 9-3 lead, and Albany battled back, but Albany does not need to give anybody any leads if they want to get the W tonight.
Cremo in the lane, can't get it to go. Steyer, another rebound. Steyer hits the deck. Will Brown wants a foul, doesn't get it, and gets called for a technical foul. I believe he just got teed up.
He did indeed just get a technical foul. Did not like the call, a no call. And Gary Duda whacked him with a timeout. And stop transition break for Stony Brook.
And Woodhouse will shoot the tees.
And 92% free throw shooter, one of the best in the country.
And that's a 5-point lead now by Stony Brook, and they get the ball out.
Tough replay to see right there. Steyer might have got away with a little push to begin with, and I don't know if that's the reason they may have called the call, but maybe it's the foul on him. But needless to say, Will Brown was not happy.
Niyama has the ball stripped. It's a turnover by Stony Brook. And Nichols up quickly. But Cremo loses control of the ball. And Sturdivant at the other end with a foul. And it's going to be on who? Cremo?
Looks like Devontae Campbell with the push.
Campbell with a push. Steyer's the one who was trying to take the charge.
Yep.
And Devontae Campbell is called for the push. So the call's not going in favor of UA here right now. And a quick 4 team fouls, Coach Friel, on UAlbany. None yet called on Stony Brook this half.
Little sloppiness from Albany offensively. And again, turnovers to start the half, leading to fouls and buckets for Stony Brook.
It's going to be foul shots for Sturdivant.
They called offense. They waved the bucket off
Bucket's
for
no
offensive
good, right?
interference.
And a 5-point lead.
And we'll have 2 shots. for a 67% free throw shooter. Sturdivant. So when a head coach gets a technical foul, Roger, two things usually happen. Usually sparks your team, fires them up, and they go on a run, which if you're a U Albany fan, hopefully that's the case. Or it can hurt you and start a run for your opponent. So it's early enough in the game that it probably won't have a factor, but it was 2 free throws that now help extend the lead, and Sturdivant's free throw to 6.
And a near turnover. Mitchell almost came up with it. Campbell with a drive, and he is fouled, and he'll get to the line. But Stony Brook has come out here. They were down by 1 at the half, and then they had the 6-point lead, 38-32.
A little bit of body on that play, but referees are very well fouled. What the foul says on the scoreboard, as much as they tell you they're not, Roger. And you know Will Brown was reminding him that it was 4-0 in fouls. And the refs right now are going to call anything close after giving a technical, and you're going to try to clean up the game a little bit. And you have some veteran guys in this league that are on this game right now.
And Devontae makes 2 foul shots, and it's a 4-point game. And Campbell waiting for Woodhouse as they go to a 1-3-1 zone here, Coach Creel. First time we have seen this tonight.
Yeah, looking to obviously force a turnover, but some good length out of Albany up front with Devontae Campbell and Steyer and Mike Rowley. But as most zones do, it can be difficult to rebound out of.
Yeah, they missed the shot, got the rebound, and Woodhouse with the ball in his hands. 11 first half points for Woodhouse. Niyama hits. Niyama a 3. And it's 41-34 Stony Brook.
That's backbreaker. 25% from three-point line. Niyama, that's the scout. That's what you're hoping he does, and you're playing the percentages. But he shot that with extreme confidence.
New Albany struggling to find the offense here in the second half, and Nichols continues to struggle on that end. And Mitchell up quickly. And it's Niyama again, this time no good. And we've got a foul on the inside.
Gonna be Mike Rowley with a hold.
Rowley working down low against Sturdivant. Gets us to immediate timeout. 15:39 to go in the second half. Stony Brook 41, New Albany 34 on ESPN 3. .39 to go as Stony Brook has opened up a 41-34 lead.
Great start.
Their biggest lead of the game was 7. New Albany's biggest lead 3, and that was in the first minute of the first half. But a good start by Stony Brook here in the second half, Coach Creel.
Yeah, they came out again with energy, and Albany came out a little sloppy to start with, which I won't say historically they come out a little slow to the gate, but today in particular they started the game off slow, and now they start the second half, and now they got a rally.
And a lob by Woodhouse, and nothing was there, not a good pass. Gonna lead the points at the other end by Joe Cremo. And Cremo now into double digits with 10 points.
If you're Jeff Bowles, you'd like to say, obviously, if we get a dunk, great, fantastic. But if it's not there, don't throw it. And that led right to 2 points, a free 2 points for Joe Cremo in Albany.
Woodhouse misses, but it came so hard off the front of the iron. Literally bounced right back to him. They get a fresh shot clock.
Yeah, Niyama and Woodhouse playing fantastic in this game thus far. Niyama's some 2 killer threes.
Likes to get to the rim, too, get into the lane. And last touch by Stony Brook off the miss, and New Albany gets it back. This is Big Purple Growl Night here at SEFCU Arena. Usually produces one of the largest crowds. It's usually the largest crowd of the year. The Siena game this year produced the largest crowd. This will be going down as the second largest this season. It's a winter homecoming. A lot of alum back in town to watch this one tonight.
Yeah, they're going to have a good one.
Little slip screen to Steyer. And the reverse with the right hand misses the rim.
We've seen a bunch of guys for Albany miss some chippies they'd like to have back that they don't really make.
And a foul on Albany on the drive by Akwazi Eboa.
Yeah, they got Joe Cremo with the armbar hand check, and
that's a 6-to-1 ratio right now in fouls.
And Yeboah obviously gets the call. It looks like he kind of slipped.
Cremo has 2.
What Woodhouse does really well, Roger, he keeps his dribble alive. So if you're defending him and he has the ball, he dominates the ball a lot, it's exhausting. So Campbell is got to work hard for the entire possession on Woodhouse.
And we've got a illegal screen away from the ball on Cameron Mitchell. And that is 3 on Mitchell.
Looks like he stuck the elbow out there and got the call.
Substitution in the game as Mitchell comes out. And Michael Almanasi, the freshman, in the lineup for first-year coach Jeff Bowles, replacing Steve Peichel,
who won his championship and headed off to Rutgers.
Got a great opportunity at Rutgers and doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, building a culture from scratch. We know he knows how to build it. Won 20-something games the last 6 years. He just couldn't win that big one and did last year and got rewarded. And he has the pedigree, being a UConn captain and playing for Jim Calhoun. So he's got to get a shot to clean up Rutgers.
And Nichols will get to the line, and this is what you're talking about. Maybe get him to the foul line, make a couple foul shots, get him going in the right direction here offensively tonight as he gets into the lane and draws the foul.
Yeah, this is a big trip to the line for not only Nichols personally, but for Albany. Just to get that confidence back. Talked about it before. He's a great player, but even great players sometimes lose confidence. And this year, he was the man in high school. He sat back last year and watched Evan Singletary, Peter Hooley, and Ray Sanders play. And now he's getting his opportunity, so going through his second time of league play. Everything's an adjustment. Nichols
came in averaging 17.3 a game. Leads the America East in field goals made coming into tonight with 166.
Making those 2 free throws, I don't think he's going to miss too many more.
New Albany back to it in 3, and Woodhouse hits the side of the backboard. Here's Campbell with Nichols, 2 on 2, and David has his shot blocked.
Not a great decision going into 2 much bigger players. Stony Brook was back.
Yeah, the 6'11", Jacob Patrice right there to make the block on the inside on the drive by Nichols.
And Albany's on a 4-0 run. Oh, here's big turnover.
And now Nichols should get an easy one here. And Niyama with the block and went up and swatted it against the backboard. No goaltending call there, Coach Friel.
No, I think the ball was still on its way up.
And Woodhouse at the other end scores for the Seawolves.
And that's a 4-point swing right there. And you see the athleticism of Stony Brook and not giving up on the play. And a big 4-point swing. Instead of it being a 1-point game, it's back to being 5.
And there's Nichols going around traffic and off the glass with the right hand and back to a 3-point game. And a timeout by Coach Bowles. Remember on January 8th, Albany was up by 21 and Stony Brook came all the way back and won. We got a 3-point game right now, long way to go in the second half here on ESPN3. And welcome back to SEF2 Arena. Here's the road ahead for Albany with a 14-10 record overall. They're at New Hampshire on Monday and then Thursday at Binghamton. Home to UMBC on Feb 15th, and then on a Sunday road trip to Maine, and then a road trip to Burlington to Patrick Gymnasium on February the 22nd.
Yeah, they're obviously focused on this game right now, but the road ahead, Albany being tied with New Hampshire, 5-4 in the league. This is a big one to gain some separation and momentum and to give yourself a shot like you can get to second with the beating Stony Brook at home, and then going up to New Hampshire and with a team that would be right on your heels. So it should be an exciting end to the Marquise play with, other than Vermont with a great start. It's pretty much open between Stony Brook, UMBC, and then the New Hampshire and Albany, right there.
I think UMBC's a lot better this year. That coaching change has done wonders for them, to be honest with you. Albany had a big win at UMBC and a Martin Luther King Monday, but they've had some good wins, and UMBC, I think, is going to be a factor in the postseason.
Yeah, you never like to see people lose their jobs, but clearly they had some talent in Baltimore. And Ryan Odom, obviously a coach's son, and has won at Division II level, has been a high major assistant at Virginia Tech, and was the interim coach at UNC Charlotte. Has done a great job with getting those guys to buy in, and they could score.
Albany causes the turnover and gets it back. Down by 3, and it gets us to immediate timeout. 11:54 to go in the second half. It is Stony Brook 43 and Albany 40 on ESPN. Welcome you back to Step 2 Arena. It is 43-40. Stony Brook by 3. They're up by 1 at the half. They open up a 7-point lead. Albany back to within 3. But this has been a tight game. Coach Friel all the way around, and the stats kind of back that up, right? This is close in a lot of categories so far tonight.
Absolutely, and as we know, Stony Brook plays a lot of close games, but rebounding, Stony Brook up 1. Turnovers, Stony Brook's at their average of 10, Albany at 8, so Albany's really done a nice job forcing some Stony Brook mishaps that they're not accustomed to. So it's going to be a great finish, and it's going to be a great end of this game. So excited to see the last 11:42.
Primo guarded by Oregbu. Feeds to Steyer, and an offensive foul on Greg Steyer. And a Quasi Yebua, the freshman, takes the charge.
Yeah, that was an easy call for Bill Lobenstein. Steyer did a great job slipping the ball screen. Sometimes if you're the passer, you have to see the secondary defender who's already teed up Steyer for the charge.
And the freshman, or the junior hits. That's UC Oregbu off the bench. Knocks down a big 3 there. Back to a 6-point lead for Stony Brook.
Yeah, Oregbu, 4 points. By hitting that shot, he's almost near his average for the season. Shooting 28% from 3, so he also shot that with confidence.
Nichols gets cut off going baseline. Feeds back into Charles, and he is fouled by Jacob Patrice, 6'11", junior. And this will be foul shots coming up for Greg Steyer.
Yep. Petrus was in the restricted area, so it's almost an automatic foul unless he was to jump straight up. But jumping's probably not his thing.
Charles gets the kind roll and makes the front end of the foul shot. 2-shot opportunity for Travis Charles. He's from Brooklyn, New York, a redshirt junior at 6'6", and having a good season.
He is coming back from that injury. Had a prep year for Coach Ryan Hurd at Notre Dame Prep in Fitchburg, Mass, and then went out to the junior college level and had a nice couple years at Howard Junior College, which is one of the top regions in junior college basketball.
Now Mondesi with the ball, the freshman point guard to the rim, blocked by Enema. Stony Brook gets it back, and a walking violation on the other freshman, Yeboah. A Quasi with the travel, and Sturdivant is coming right back into the game. Good block on the inside by UA.
Dallas with good timing. It's actually one of the leaders for shot blocks in Albany. Will Brown teaches taking a charge. Doesn't like guys leaving his feet to block shots. We've had quite a few charge calls on both ends tonight.
Charles back to the basket. And a foul from behind on Yeboah. Albany has 17 fouls. That's the 5th team foul on Stony Brook. So 2 more before UA is in the 1-on-1.
I will give the officials credit. They have been very consistent in terms of that call inside. hands on you. They called it right away. We had that call called on Michael Rowley in the first half. You get the foul call right there on Stony Brook. So that's what you like. That's all you can ask for. It's consistency.
Cremo turns it over. Woodhouse up ahead to Sturdivant. And he scores off the turnover from Joe Cremo. And this matches their biggest lead now at 7, 48-41.
He's really improved since his freshman year at Stony Brook. That's a tough play for a big fella like that to catch that and finish on the run.
The foul away from the ball is on Aregbu, working against Joe Cremo. Team foul number 6 on the Seawolves.
Yeah, both teams now in the bonus from here on out.
And Enema lobs it into Steyer, but too high, and it's a 2-on-1. And then a foul on Nichols at the other end. And Yeboah will go to the foul line.
Yep, should be a 1-on-1.
Back-to-back turnovers here, Coach Friel, by Albany, which that has been a problem area for the Great Danes tonight.
Yeah, solid under out of bounds defense by Stony Brook and a poor decision by Dallas Enema, almost throwing an outlet pass to lead to Stony Brook. And they gave him 2 shots, so they were able to give him a 1-on-1 on that, but he got 2. And now they've extended the lead to 8. I believe that's the largest of the game.
Campbell and Rowley are back in. Charles and Enema go out. Yeboah makes 1 of 2. Steyer with the rebound. And it's a 8-point game, and you are right. This is the biggest lead of the game for Stony Brook with 9:41 to go. Still waiting for Nichols to get untracked offensively here tonight. Woodhouse in the man-to-man defense against David with 6 to shoot. Now they double team him. He's going to put up a shot and score.
Great pull-up, great decision. And now Albany's got to get a stop.
Still lots of time to go here. Another 3 by Aregbu. You see Aregbu with his second 3 here in the last couple of minutes for Stony Brook.
Yep, hand down, man down. He caught that, shot that in rhythm, and made Albany pay.
And almost another turnover by Albany. Cremo misses a 3, and Woodhouse gets the rebound. Now Coach Bowles tells Woodhouse to settle it down and run some offense here, work a little bit of clock.
You can do that with a 9-point lead.
No doubt. Now Woodhouse with 7. Gonna put up the 3, and it's good. Lucas Woodhouse.
That's a killer.
Another 3, and they're raining 3s here to give them a double-digit lead with 8:12 to go.
Yeah, quick run. It's the difference in the 3-point line right there. Obviously, we know that's not one of Albany's strengths, is a 3-point line. And really not one of Stony Brook's, obviously, other than Luke House. They have some of the guys that can shoot it, but everybody's making them right now.
And Will Brown wants a timeout here. And a run by Stony Brook to open up a 12-point lead, 55-43, with 8:06 to go in the second half on ESPN3. Here in Albany, New York, and the Stony Brook Seawolves have opened up a 55-43 lead. And Lucas Woodhouse, who came into this game averaging 15 points per game, has gone above that tonight, Coach Friel. He has 18. Niyama has 10. And they've made 6 out of 15 from behind the arc, but 3 of those coming here recently in the second half.
Absolutely. And as we know, Albany's only attempted 5 3-pointers, so it's an extra point each time Stony Brook has gone down the last 2 possessions and extended their lead. It was 43-38 just a few minutes ago, and now it's 12-5 run to open it up to a 12-point lead.
Well, Joe Cremo's out of the game, taking a break here, and Costa Anderson has come on the court as Campbell with the left hand scores. It's not too late. Remember,
No,
when they
plenty of
played
time.
on January 8th, UAlbany was up by 21, and Stony Brook came back to win. Now we're in a similar spot with time, and it's a 10-point double-digit lead for Stony Brook here on UAlbany's home court.
And it starts with stops on the defensive end. But Stony Brook's going to run a lot of time off the shot clock each possession.
And Woodhouse has just been knocking them down, and 21 for Woodhouse.
Yep. Transfer from Longwood a couple years ago. Greenlaw, New York native, has really stepped up. Averaged 6 points a game last year, Roger, and now he's averaging 16.
Joe Cremo back to the scorer's table.
Preseason 7th, I'm sure they weren't thrilled with that. They're part of a winning program, a winning culture.
No, I can understand
That's
it
motivation.
with the, as many losses as they had from last year's team. But they have played a whole lot better than their 7th preseason pick, that is for sure. And playing well here tonight on the road against UAlbany. Campbell with that long reach of his comes up with a steal.
Yeah, and the Albany bench is telling him to go. This is the time to go. The clock is your enemy. It is not your friend when you're down 13. We need a lot more possessions. By we, I mean Albany. Sorry, force of habit.
Yep, and an offensive foul on Devontae Campbell. Sturdivant takes the charge. Joe Cremo coming back in. Here's a look at this call, Coach Friel, and looked like a pretty good one.
That's
looked
an
like
easy
Sturdivant,
call.
yep.
There hasn't been too many calls tonight that we've really, really questioned. But it's right there, legal guarding position, and took it in the chest. And it's a case of Campbell just scored. Probably trying to do too much, but at some point, Albany's going to try to pick up the pressure here, down 13 with 6 minutes left.
And Woodhouse, a big part of the storyline tonight. And Niyama has had a good game. Pulls up off the back of the iron, no good. And
they got to go.
Roller the rebound. Yeah, it is go time for UAlbany with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, we got to go, get a little run, get the crowd back into it.
Cremo gets to the line, and that stops the clock with 5:54 remaining.
And they need to do that. They need points with the clock stopped. They need to extend this game as long as they can.
Which, Coach Friel, is what happened on January the 8th, too. A lot of UAlbany fouled a lot, stopped the clock a lot, and Stony Brook got to the line a ton.
Yep, after those turnovers by Albany, Albany ended up fouling, and that's exactly what happened.
So Cremo to the line, shooting 2 shots.
These teams obviously know it can be done, Roger. 13-point lead with 6 minutes left. That's very similar to what happened down in Sefcu, and both teams know that.
Cremo now with 11, just 3 in the second half. Dallas Enema comes in. Mike Rowley goes out of the UAlbany lineup. And one more for Joe Cremo. He's got 4 rebounds tonight as well. And he's got them both. So a 12-point night so far for Cremo. 58-47 Stony Brook.
Oh, Stony Brook's done a nice job on both Cremo and Nichols tonight.
Nichols with a steal. Misses the lay-in, though. Yeah, but there'll be foul shots coming up by UAlbany. So Stony Brook turns it over. Credit UAlbany's defense. And a chance to cut into the lead as Nichols comes up with the steal.
Yep, great steal. And maybe got a foul. They didn't get the call, but there's Devontae Campbell not giving up on the play. And as we just talked about, clock stop, points on. And you can hear the crowds wanting to get into it. They're excited. They're just looking for reasons to cheer.
Yeah, Devontae Campbell is an energy guy, hustle guy. That's the reason he's been in the starting lineup here for a number of games, replacing Marquise Grayson.
I just realized that Campbell and Nichols actually played together for a cup of coffee when they were both in high school. Only for a quick trip. So they knew each other before they got here.
Campbell's on Woodhouse, and he's got their best player. His drive is no good by Stony Brook, and UAlbany gets it again with 5 and change to play.
Yeah, 9-point game, Roger. Chipped it away.
Steyer Up strong and one, and the foul on Niyama.
Big play, good control by Steyer. Great job by not walking when that tends to happen when players fall down. You get a little happy feet, but now cutting the lead to 7 with a chance to cut it to 6. Created space, maybe got away with a little charge, but makes Stony Brook pay. And just like that, he makes his free throw. 6-point game. 5 minutes to go. 3 possessions would be perfect. Yep, big possession. Big free throw to make it a 3-possession game.
Steyer double digits tonight.
He's been great.
Makes the foul shot.
It's been fantastic.
And that 13-point lead down to 6.
And Albany sticking with the pressure. This is what got Stony Brook back in the game back in January.
Little 1-2-2. No problems for Stony Brook breaking the press.
And a better decision not to force it. Crowd's into it now. You feel it. Big shot.
That's the miss by Neboa. And Nichols quickly pushes up in transition. Secunda on him.
This place will ignite if Albany can get a score here.
Primo trying to create. And Nichols gets into the lane. They call an offensive foul.
Yep.
They are on David Nichols.
I think that was a good call too. He forced it.
And Will Brown telling Primo, settle down.
Yep, easy call for Bill Lavenstein on the charge play right there. He had Greg Steyer in the short corner, but that's not Steyer's game, so he decided to take it and took one too many dribbles and got the charge call. It's a big stop for Stony Brook for momentum reasons.
So Costa Anderson gives Nichols a break. And I don't think that'll be for too long. Will Brown, quick chat with Nichols. I'm sure he'll be back in the game for the offense. UA down by 6. Stony Brook with the ball.
That was Nichols' 4th personal foul, so a little offense, defense, still with it being a 3-possession game.
Shot clock at 7. And a foul on Albany.
Looks like one official, Robson, had potentially had a travel call, but overruled by Gary Duda with the foul call on the arm bar, which they've called all night.
They call that on Greg Steyer. You're right, it looked like they were going to call a walk. As Sturdivant makes the foul shot. Back to a 7-point game. Make it 8. Nicely done by Terrell Sturdivant at the line. And here comes Nichols.
Yep, Nichols coming in with offense, defense with his 4 fouls. Campbell also has 4 for Albany.
Man-to-man defense here by the Seawolves. Pretty much the entire game. Nichols gonna launch the jumper and hit. Good time for him to get the stroke back from the outside. 6-point game.
Yep, did a nice job. Tip what the defense gave him, give it a jab step to see how he's gonna play it. Yeah, absolutely a good call.
Call David Nichols for a foul with a push, causing the turnover, and it'll be a 2-shot opportunity for Stony Brook when we come back. 3:32 to go, immediate timeout. Stony Brook by 6 on ESPN3. Perception Arena in Albany, New York with 3:32 remaining. Stony Brook up by 6. David Nichols on that foul with a push. Fouls out, so you lose one of your top scorers for the final 3:32. And it comes at a bad time because they're down by 6, and he's obviously one of your top scorers, but he finally was starting to get into a little bit of a groove here, Coach Friel, from the outside. But Nichols out with 5 personals.
Yeah, tough night for David, 4 for 16 from the floor, but got caught with a 2-hand shove, just enough. I thought it was the right call. Fans here did not like it, but it was the right call, and it's a double-edged. It's all the worst things for Albany. David Nichols fouls out, and they also get 2 shots for Stony Brook to extend the lead. And Secunda's a solid free throw shooter.
Yep, Secunda makes them both. He has just 4 points tonight, 21 for Woodhouse.
They showed
Albany has 4 guys in double figures.
Yeah, which doesn't happen all that often. But they showed the replay to the officials to make sure they had the right free throw shooter, is what they were reviewing during the last media timeout. And it was Sakuna, and we could see the replay, and it was clearly a two-handed shove by David, just enough to gain an advantage.
3-point shot by Costa Anderson is no good. Stony Brook with a rebound. 3 minutes to go. And an 8-point Seawolves lead. They try to get one on the road tonight in America East Conference play.
Yeah, and Albany's got to give some ball pressure, which they're accustomed to playing solid, fundamental, keep your man in front of you defense. And Steyer's got to be careful as he's got 4 fouls right there.
Not a good shot by Sturdivant. Albany with the rebound, and Campbell gets it up to Costa Anderson, who will run the point guard spot without David Nichols.
Yeah, but this is a time when Nichols would dominate the ball. Sakuna does a nice job there taking away the post up, making Primo catch the ball a little further out. Big shot.
Dallas Henema. The senior hits a 3. And a timeout by Will Brown with 2:14 remaining. 62-56.
Great pass by Joe Cremo. Saw him score earlier in the game on that same play. Does a nice job, get the corner to corner, which Albany practices every day. Drive baseline, hit the corner man. Dallas, the veteran, senior, knocks it down to get him right back in the game. 3-possession game, 2 minutes and 14 seconds left. Look for Albany to bring the pressure.
Another close game for Stony Brook. They've won a bunch of them so far this year. They've lost a few. Last time these two teams played on January 8th, it was 72-70.
Yeah, and Albany's battled back. Stony Brook was just up 13 points with 6 minutes left. They've cut it in half. Albany, they cut it to a 6-point game. So, buckle up, should have a good ending here. If Albany can force a turnover and get this crowd who's been dying to get excited.
On the big purple ground right here at Sefco Arena. Woodhouse to Secunda. Woodhouse calls a timeout.
Yep.
That's a good timeout by Lucas Woodhouse as he was double teamed with the ball.
Good pressure by Albany to force him to catch it towards the end line going the wrong way. And a high IQ timeout by Lucas Woodhouse. Now they got 1 timeout remaining, both teams in a 5-point game. Anything can happen.
After tonight, Stony Brook will host UMass Lowell and Maine before going to Hartford. And UAlbany has 2 road trips coming up this week. Monday, going to New Hampshire, and Thursday going down to Binghamton.
Enjoy the trip up to God's country, Roger.
Yeah, your neck of the woods, partner.
Yep, say hello to the clover on the floor. Coach Jerry Friel, my friend.
No doubt. Good memories there, right, Coach?
Yes, a lot of great memories growing up. But we got a great game here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
5 points, a lot of runs. I'll be trying to chip back and get a little redemption for blowing that game back in January at Stony Brook.
And Woodhouse.
Don't want to foul him, 92%
no, he's an
from the line.
Excellent foul shooter, not the guy you want to foul. We go inside, 2 minutes to go. In a 5-point game.
Don't expect Woodhouse to give it up. Albany made him give it up. Good job.
Niyama, 3-point shot is no good, but the tip by Niyama is good. Off the miss by Yeboah. Big tip by Niyama.
A friendly Stony Brook bounce, keeping the ball up there, allowing Steyer was there for the rebound, and then the tip in with the ball staying, just mistime it.
The ball goes right into Steyer, and he is fouled, and Greg will get to the line to shoot 2 shots.
Yep,
with
2 big
1:29 remaining.
Steyer only 60% on the season, but 3 for 3 tonight.
Steyer's been good from the line tonight, too.
Fans know the free throw etiquette for the home team. Got nice and quiet. You can hear a pin drop.
Steyer 4 for 4 from the foul line.
Albany trying to battle back with David Nichols fouling out again. Got to credit Stony Brook. There's something happens when your best players fouls out in both games you play against them.
Steyer makes them both back to a 5-point game. Secunda double team, no place to go.
Got to travel.
And they're going to call
Lucas
a
Woodhouse
timeout.
called a timeout.
Woodhouse calls a timeout.
That's their last one. Lucas Woodhouse saw his teammate was in travel, and they were in trouble, and they were going to call travel. But Lucas Woodhouse was standing right in front of Gary Duda, asked for the timeout and saved his teammate. But no more timeouts. That's their last one, Raj.
Now, if you're UA here and you're Will Brown, how quickly do you need to foul? Or don't you here on this, at least on this possession?
You don't need to on this possession. It's a 5-point game, 2 possessions. You're going to try to get one trap, cause the turnover, and then get back and get a stop. Now, once we get under a minute, now we got to think about fouling.
Yeah.
The problem is Lucas Woodhouse has the ball the majority of the time, and he shoots 92%. So right now in the timeout, Albany's talking about who they're going to foul if it comes to that. And Stony Brook has their press breaker. It has been okay the last few possessions. They've gotten the ball in, but hasn't put them in great spots. So see what Coach Bowles draws up to see if he switches anything out. I'd be shocked if he put in anything that they haven't practiced before. But he's been in the game for a long time, so I'm sure, and been an associate coach at a high major level with a great coach in Thad Mata. I'm sure he picked up a few plays.
Yeah, boy, a lot of praise for Coach Bowles by some.
Yep, and he's got his a former head coach on his staff, Gino Ford, who's at Bradley. They played together at Ohio.
So 5-point game, Stony Brook will inbound. Going to go left of the court here. Steyer will guard Secunda.
Don't let Woodhouse get the ball.
Into the freshman, back to Secunda, up to Niyama, and up to Sturdivant, and that's how you break the press.
Much better job by Stony Brook and able to make him pay with the
Costa Anderson to Cremo. Cremo for 3. Can't get it to go. Out of bounds. Last touch by Stony Brook. Albany ball. But now just 1:03 to go, and Stony Brook with a 7-point lead.
Yep, and Albany with an under bounds. Chance to get a quick shot. Easy to attack from your under your own basket. Looks like they're going to review to see if this is indeed Albany ball.
Yeah, who did it go?
But I think they made the right call.
It looked, yeah, I think they did, but they are going to take a look here with 1:03 remaining. This was a 1-point game at halftime in favor of UA.
Yeah, Stony Brook opened up a 13-point lead. They see the review. That's hard to tell on the first review.
Very difficult to tell right there who that one off of. I think it's off Sturdivant on the inside.
Well, they got to be 100% sure to overturn it. The call on the floor is Albany ball. And if you're Albany, you're hoping it's your ball, and you're getting a free timeout out of it right now to drop something maybe different, something that you've practiced. And indeed, they've given the ball to Albany.
Yep, Albany ball.
You're a little more sure that it was Albany ball than myself, Roger, but. But see, yeah. So Will Brown is taking advantage of that timeout, and he's running a different set than he had originally called.
Now there's a big set here. They definitely need a bucket here. And they turn it over. Almost
foul.
A foul on Stony Brook. Wow. So that will stop the clock, and it will put Joe Cremo, outstanding foul shooter, to the line.
Yeah, a little bailout right there.
Foul is on Secunda. And Cremo can make it a 5-point game with these 2 shots.
85% free throw shooter. is exactly what Albany will take. Clock stop.
And Cremo does what Cremo usually does, makes both.
And you got a chance to set up your pressure defense.
Secunda up ahead to Woodhouse. To Niyama, and he is fouled by Steyer. And Roland Niyama, the junior from Germany, will be at the line shooting 2 with 52 seconds to go in a 5-point game.
Yep, and that's the 5th personal foul on Greg Steyer. He's had a tremendous night.
Yeah, Greg has played well. He's really been playing consistently well for Will Brown.
Yep, 15 points for Steyer, 5 for 8, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds. It's a great line for Greg Steyer. Career high indeed with 15 points. Great effort.
So Niyama with some big foul shots for Stony Brook as they try to get one on the road here tonight.
And if you're Albany, you're happy anybody other than Luke House is shooting the free throws. But Niyama's 63% on the season, and he's 1 for 2 tonight.
May get 2 for 3. Clutch foul shot there by Niyama. You got them both.
Got them
Those are
both.
Huge foul shots to take it back to a 7-point lead. Time running out on you, Albany.
Yep, made it 3 possessions.
And a 3 by Enema. Boy, he
Big
launched
3.
that one with good defense on him.
Cut it to 4 for your Woodhouse.
Secunda with
Got
the
a
ball.
foul.
30 seconds to go and a foul. It's a 4-point game on that 3 by Dallas Enema. That was pretty good defense too on Dallas.
That was, they made Enema put it on the floor. Little screen-to-screener action.
I mean, Sturdivant is right there. Good elevation on that jump shot by Dallas Enema. And now more big foul shots for Stony Brook. This time, Brian Secunda.
Only 67% on the season for Secunda. But he was 2 for 2 for tonight. Now he's 2 for 3. So a big miss, 4-point. Either way, now it's still going to be a 2-possession game. 32 seconds left, and Albany every shoot-around practices their end-of-game situations and what they want, and they don't.
5-point game. Euro step in the lane by Cremo. Doesn't go. Sturdivant the rebound, and then a foul by Anderson on Woodhouse. 20 seconds left in a 5-point game.
Yeah, we've seen Joe make those shots before, and you can easily go for the 2. Nothing wrong with that decision.
I think Cremo and Nichols both tonight a little bit off their games. And credit Stony Brook defensively. Look, if you're going to play Albany, Coach, you know that those are their 2 leading scorers. So the game plan is going to be to try and do a good job on those 2.
Yeah, it's not a difficult scout.
No, it is not.
It is in terms of preparation for all the sets they run, but you know who's going to take the majority of the shots. And Stony Brook is going to try to make somebody else beat you. And, you know, Greg Steyer has 15 points, but, you know, it's not going to be enough.
Albany going to lose this one tonight on the home court and get ready for a road trip on Monday to New Hampton.
Yeah.
And the win tonight by Stony Brook will get them to 8-2 in the conference, and Albany will go back to 500 in the conference at 5-5. Another foul, and Secunda will shoot some more shots at the other end with 14.2 remaining.
Foul, but he could have got that rebound. They could have made it a little interesting. Still only being 6, and you got the ball. A quick 3 and it's 1 possession game. As we know, these games are never over.
Standings going in. I mean, Vermont's going to win the conference, and they're 9-0. I don't see them losing a couple of times here. I really don't. Stony Brook has the 2 losses, and UMBC's right there, 6-3. This
Right.
is again going into tonight. New Hampshire is at 5-4.
This is a big game for Stony Brook, though, because they still feel
like they could.
Yeah, they're 2 games behind. They can go up to Vermont, get a win, and then hope somebody they stumble, and then they have a tie.
I don't see it happening.
I can't say I see it happening either, but
3 seconds to go. Albany.
A great win for Stony Brook.
That's a good road win.
Great win for Stony Brook.
By Stony Brook. 72-65. A 7-point win here at SEPQ Arena. Coach Friel, great job as always.
Pleasure to be a part of it.
And that will wrap things up here on our broadcast for former Albany assistant coach Jeremy Friel. I'm Roger Weiland saying so long from SEPQ Arena. The final score, Stony Brook 72 and Albany 65. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.